everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Elin and I talk about books and book-related stuff. And today I am going to talk about my slightly ambitious to be read pile for the Queer Lit Readathon that is starting tomorrow, Sunday. And it's not even a little ambitious, because the thing is that I have been struggling lately with reading. I haven't really read anything lately. I started the Norwegian fantasy book that I talked about in my last video, and yeah, about that. I have read like 175 pages or something, and I am really struggling. I have been having lots of migraines. I have been very tired. But yeah, I still want to try to do this readathon, and I am hoping to get a kick in the butt to read some. So I am going to show the books that I am planning on reading now for the readathon. So I have a couple of ebooks, or two or three ebooks, and I also have some paper books. And how on earth I'm going to read all this stuff in 1 week is beyond me, but there you are. So I am going to start with this ebook here, which is The Witch of the Winterwoods, a paranormal Christmas tale. I am not a Christmassy person at all. I'm not a big fan of Christmas. This is written by Foxglove Lee, and it's queer ghost stories. So I thought it would be fun to read something dark. And this is going to be very dark as far as I know, yeah. And it will be winter vibes from the board, from the Lit Read challenges. So I think it's a fairly short story. It's not a short story, but it's a short book. I think it's a novella, if I'm not mistaken. And I have tried to kind of find shorter books for me because of the struggle I've had. And the next book is from the library app called Libby. I don't know if you have Libby. I absolutely love Libby. It's not a very common app here in Norway, but I know that a few people have it. There are 3 cities that has it, and I am fortunate enough to be in one of them. Or actually, I am connected to all 3 of them. So that's fortunate for me, and if I could just open it. That's also always a thing. So the next I was going to talk about, it's very, there's something about the light here. I think it's because it's such a light background on this tablet or cover. But it's Final Draft. It's very hard. Final Draft by Relay Redgate. And it's supposed to be See Yourself, and I have been told that it might have Pan character. Being Pan myself, I am very interested in seeing how the rep is, and I am hoping to see myself, because I still haven't. I have read books that people have said that has Pan rep, but the books I've read I have found to not be so good when it comes to the Pan rep. I'm not saying all of the books have been bad, I just don't think the Pan rep has been great. So that's that. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And I also have another Libby book that I am reading on my larger tablet. I do have 2 tablets. The small one is really, really, really old and slow. So I'm using that for like just ebooks, and I'm using it for like Libby or BookBites or another library app, or like book apps, because that's how it is. But for comic books, I prefer to use my tablet, and I have started the second book. Check, please. The second book in the series by Ngozi Ukazu, I think. Sticks and Scones is the series, as far as I know. So I read the first book in this series, and I have started this, and it is so cute. So I am planning to read that for the that would be the graphic novel. Have to check for the Queer Lit challenges. And for the Ace Arrow, a main character, and it's also a BIPOC main character. This is a black man main character, and it has an Ace main character. It also own voices black because the author is black, and it's also main character not like you. I guess I could say that about several of the books, actually. So I am hoping to finally finish this book, because I started it last summer. I started it during summer anyway. I can't remember exactly when, because I haven't looked it up on my Goodreads, but I know it was during summer, and I have done really badly. I have read... I'm not even halfway. But I thought that maybe I would be able to finish it for this readathon. There's always hope. So, fingers crossed for that. For the retelling, I have picked up The Sleeper and the Spindle by Neil Gaiman, illustrated by Chris Riddell. Neil Gaiman is my favorite author. I know it's not own voices, and that's okay with me. And I really love the illustrations by Chris Riddell, so it'll be interesting. I've heard really good things about this, and I love the cover. It's such a lovely cover. So yeah, I am looking forward to reading this. I have had it on my shelf for quite a while. I still haven't gotten around to it, as with many of my other books. They're sitting on my shelf, staring at me. It's like, aren't you going to read me yet? Aren't you going to read me yet? And I'm going, yeah, sure. But I haven't. Anyway, this will be the retelling. And for the adult fiction, non-fiction, I picked up Queer A Graphic History. So this is non-fiction. And first I thought it might have I could have read it for the graphic novel as well, but it's non-fiction. So it's and it's also kind of not as comic-y or whatever you want to say, but it's a little, but I still think it will be a really interesting read. So I picked this up from the library. So as you can see, it's a library book. I had to do an interlibrary loan, but that's something I do a lot, especially with English language books. Looking forward to reading this. The last book on my to be read pile for the Queer Lit Readathon is Hør Hæra by Gulreis Sharif. It's a Norwegian author. It's another author of color, actually, and it has gotten really good reviews. It's actually fairly new. It was published this autumn, if I'm not remembering. If I am remembering correctly. So I'm really looking forward to reading this, because it's gotten so good reviews, and it has a different view in a way. So the main character is actually not the queer character. It's his brother, I think. I can't quite remember, but there is a trans character in this book, and it's... I think it's even though it's... not told from the character's point of view, I think it's still a lot about this character, and it would be the pre/non-medical transition, because there's a trans character in this book and there is a lot about this trans character. But I'm not going to go into depths about that because I'm hoping to have read it and then I can talk about it in my reading blog, because I am planning on doing a reading blog. And that is very much my over ambitious over ambition to be read. I also think I'm going to put this into my chosen box on the bingo board, and it would be read something Norwegian in Norwegian. Would that be okay? I think it would be okay. It will be in Norwegian, a Norwegian queer book, I guess, kinda. So anyway, that's my TBR, as I said, and I'm not going to go on rambling, but I am hoping to get through all of this. I've tried to pick some shorter books because of time and stuff, and I have also tried to pick something that I think I would enjoy. And that's it, and also things I've already started because I need to finish stuff, basically. So that's it for now, and I will see you in my next video. And do remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And no hatred. We don't do hatred here. So that's it. Bye.